Hey everybody, Genome here, just come at you with kind of a big deal announcement in my playing forays. That is, I have hit 1,000 days played. Technically speaking, I've hit 1,001 days. I should have shot this video yesterday, but I was tied up doing stuff. You know how it goes. So, yes, a rather auspicious number in the... I don't know, in the milestones that you can hit as a player. And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about not only my account, but some other things that are maybe issues with the game, or, you know, just my general take on Marvel Strike Force right now as a whole. Let's start this off with a quick negative, okay? Before I even get into this, okay? 1,000 days played. What's your reward, by the way, for such an amazing feat? It's logged in, basically, for 1,020 days, and I think I've missed like 2 days in that time. 25 power cores and 3 red star orbs, basic orbs. Not even like an Elite 5. It's such a joke. Almost all of the achievement rewards are complete nonsense. Here's an interesting one. For rank up characters 525 times. So let's just say the mean average is what? We'll say even the low one. We'll say 19,000. Because I have a lot of characters I have not hit the rank up button on because of gold. Say the average you spend on rank up is 19,000. You're looking at almost 10 million gold spent alone just on rank ups. And what do you get for your troubles? A partial premium orb and 30 campaign energy. Yeah, sweet rewards there. That's what I call return on investment. Win 1,000 battles in Blitz. Now, this doesn't mean nearly what it used to, because we have auto sim Blitz, whatever. 3 Hulk shards and a microscopic portion of a gold orb. Woohoo.
Seems like the classy thing to do would be not to call attention to it.
Who doesn't have... Anyone who's 11,000 battles in Blitz is probably going to have Hulk maxed out like 2 years prior to that. They're still giving Hulk shards, which we should just actually call Ultimate Shards, right? Not that Hulk is a bad character or anything. It's not... he's mid-tier, but I mean, it's like... That's what they're still giving it. I guess it's better than having Wolverine shards, but whatever. I guess it doesn't make a difference. They're both maxed. Complete 3,500 battles in the arena. Now, these are competitive matches, and you got to play them all the way through. So we're talking about 3,500 matches in arena, and they give you 3 Hulk shards and a little bit of raid energy. Enough for 1 character revive. This is what they're giving you for your time. Quick, 15 level T1, yeah, that's no big deal. ISO 8 crystals, whatever. I mean, that's a lot of ISO 8, but half of a mega orb, 50 power cores. These are the rewards they're giving us. Collect 44 bio characters, 20 power cores. At least they gave you a gold orb, I guess. Scopely, if for some miracle you're reading this or watching this or even give a damn, which I don't think you do, but whatever. Come on, man. Elite 4s, Elite 5s, Elite 6s, give us something to measure it with our time played in this game. But anyway, that mini rant is over, so let me just talk a little bit about the state of the game and maybe the state of my account as it currently is. First off, I am currently on my second run of Dark Dimension 3. We'll get into how far behind really briefly. I'm going to finish it up probably tomorrow. I got Black Order all at 14, and they're just going to kind of roll through there. And then I get started on City. Should be able to at least close to one-shot everything. I got a full symbiotes team. I can't remember if I have Scream up there, but... So, I'm just going for my red stars and the extra gear, so then I can start gearing up for DD4, which is right around the corner. I got a couple at Tier 15, so... let's see. Well, I guess we just look at the profile here, get some more information, right? So my TCP is just actually over 7 million. I have spent a total of $18 in this game, and that was, what, a year and a half ago when I bought, I think it's 6 of the 50 shard things. 2 of them were $2 a piece, and one of them was the $5 one for Ghost Rider. I bought that twice. So... yeah, $18 in the game. Haven't spent a penny since then. Didn't spend a penny before that. So this is the kind of stuff you can do. I am pretty religious about logging in every day. In fact, I have 2 accounts that I do it with every day. You can do all your dailies, do all your raids, do all your arenas and blitzes. It's very time consuming. I really shouldn't have the second account, but I'm kind of doing it for the newer player experience for some of the videos I've not been shooting. So anyway, yeah, so just over 7 million TCP. They could be much higher with better planning on my part. My first year was completely wasted in this game. I did everything wrong. Didn't even have my first legendary lock, I think, until like a year in. But anyway, that's beside the point. You know, I've been War VP several times. Strongest team powers, 683. It's a hodgepodge, but really my Black Order's my highest team as it is. 165 collected, max star ranking, yeah, whatever. Highest I've ever been in Arena, which I'm actually kind of proud of, is 28. Had to burn a lot of cores to do it, and of course you get slingshotted the next day into the hundreds again, so it's hard for me to climb when you're trying to save up cores all the time, which I usually am. And Blitz ones who's care about that. So that's kind of where I'm at. A snapshot of the roster. Been with the same alliance now for like over a year. It's kind of cash. Like you pick your own raid lanes. You pick, you know, in both raids, in the Greeks and the regulars. We're running like U7-5 at this point. My roster does okay. I can usually get to the final boss node depending on RNG. So it's, you know, it's a real lower end alliance. Both of my alliances are a little more casual. Actually, my baby account alliance is a lot more serious than this one is, but that's how I like it. I will not log in more than like a couple times a day just to do my daily stuff and get my energy refreshes. I will not be like waking up at night to raid or do war. That is not me. I personally don't even care for war, but that's more probably me than other people. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. Let's talk about the roster a little bit and maybe some good things and bad things. Now, here's kind of what I'm working on at the moment. A lot of these guys just got cranked up to 15. Not going to do Black Bolt, but just get preparatory for GD4, so it kind of artificially inflated some of these numbers in actually the last 2 days. You know, Thanos is probably my most used character, and I actually opened 7 red stars on him naturally, so saved me from having to do it. But I use him every day in raids. I know a lot of people don't, but I don't have Axemen yet. I will be getting Jubilee tomorrow when she's around. So at 6 stars, it's been so long. You know, Black Bolt, I use him every day in raids too. For I've made videos about it before. My favorite raid team. Same with Symbiote Spider-Man. So I don't always use the full Symbiote team in raids because I think it's a little bit slow. But on stuff that's a little harder, you know, you can throw them at it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Kestrel is like a new character, of course, and she's so grossly overpowered. I had to put this much gear and stuff into her. One good thing about having an account like mine, which I'm constantly hoarding things, is that usually when a character comes around I want to work on, I have no problems working on them. In fact, I think the only thing I'm missing here is a couple of uniques. Yeah, that's going to be a while. I never collected those before because there's never anything worthy of really collecting, so that one's going to take a while. But yeah, I'll use her. I use her all the time, and I use her in my raid team, my basic everyday raid team right now. So just real strong, but that's where it is. My symbiotes are decently high, at least the top 2, and Venom and all that's coming along. What else is of real interest here? I mean, you'll see a pretty substantial drop-off here once you get to the 90s, and so you just got to be so selective on what you work on as a free-to-play player, especially one that's not in the hardest of core alliances and that sort of thing, right? In the hardest of core raid or wars and all that. So I think we're in gold or something like that, but you know how it is. What else? Let's see. Anything else of interest? Really. Silver Surfer is kind of stuck down here for a while. I've only got 2 stars. I'm free to play, like I said, so it's as much as I want to keep working on him, it doesn't really behoove me to drop tons into him right now at only 2 stars. He's really good, I understand that, and I've already pre-maxed out all of his stuff, but you know, it is what it is. You gotta wait, risk reward, and right now it's just, even as awesome as he is, 2 stars, I'm probably not going to build him too much until I have a way to farm him up better, other than the minuscule amount we get from raid milestones. So yeah, here's just an overall kind of glimpse of my roster. It's kind of wide, probably wider than it should be, to be honest with you. I tend to get off in tangents sometimes when I should focus a little more, but some of this is older stuff. Like, for instance, the Fantastic Four. I have not worked on any of them outside of Invisible Woman since they came out. I mean, the levels you see them at now, they were the same like 2 weeks after they came out. I don't even use them on War Offense anymore. I put them on War Defense. I got She-Hulk up a little bit and used that instead. Yeah, what else is of interest here? I'll be unlocking Jubilee tomorrow, as I said, and I've been saving up a lot of mutant gear and T4s so I can work on the X-Men. Well, it's not going to show now because I don't have that, but let's see how many I got saved up. Let's go look at the top here. Sorry, I hope this is at least not too boring for you. Let's see here. So yeah, I got 4,700 T4s kind of saved up. I do that, but when the Axemen drop, which I'm not sure if I should even waste time on them now with Invisible Infinity Watch coming up. I'm not picking him up first round anyway. I'm probably going to jump quite a bit into Axemen for a new raid team so I can auto more. I tend to save up for that stuff, but I probably hoard too much, but, it's just the nature of the beast. So you've seen basically what I've unlocked. Let's look at what I haven't unlocked yet. Of course, Doom, I haven't stepped foot into DD4 yet. I'd say probably need another month or so. I may be able to step in there. No rush. Of course, Warlock, I will not be getting him on first pass. Should be getting him on second pass, depending on how I get lucky and stuff. I got lucky on pulls on Moondragon. Haven't unlocked Moondragon. Jubilee will be tomorrow. Misty Knight, I could care less about. Culling Wing, I could care less about. I don't care about war defense teams, really. And it's nothing I can afford to work on. And, teams like X Factor, I've worked on the Davros a little bit from earlier, but I'm not working on the team until I get basically all of them. So, that's just how it behooves me. Unless the character is grossly overpowered in some way, I usually don't really work on them too much. Like Moon Knight, I haven't really worked on Shadowlands. I just can't afford to work on all of these teams. And right now, it's actually not T4s that's the problem. It's just gold. Really, gold is my problem. And trying to stay at 1 million gold a day is very, very, very difficult. Let's talk about some mistakes that I made, and hopefully you're not making the same ones. I either had bad advice or I didn't look at other content creators to see what they were doing, or the videos I was watching were really old and I wasn't taking that into consideration, how bad the power creep was in this game. One regret, I know some people will probably contest this, is Ghost Rider. I just don't use him that much. He's a good character, he's nice and tanky, but it just feels like something's missing, especially off of a Supernatural team where he lives. I don't use them in War too much anymore. I kind of got them split up a lot. So Ghost Rider, I like the character a lot in the comics and in the game, and I think he's got a really cool kit, and I like the whole essence of what he does. I just don't know. I use him a lot in DD. Well, I did use him in DD3 a lot and all that, but that's just because he's a city character, and I didn't have the symbiotes kind of built up. But I really don't use him in raids unless it's I've been knocked down several times. I don't use him in War every war. Haven't used him in Reno in forever. So, yeah, I probably wouldn't have put as much into him as I did. Not totally regretful, because he could still come back, and I've actually done videos on what the Supernatural team needs in order to be competitive again, and Ghost Rider isn't the problem there, by the way. So that's just kind of one, but he's not a real bad one. Punisher's my favorite character. He does come in and out of favor. On the virtue of his passive alone, he's really not that bad, and especially in the early game, he shreds stuff. If he was faster, it'd be better, but, give and take. What else? Loki, here's one of the mistakes I made early on. For some reason, I maxed out his basic. Why? For the extra 10% chance to gain evade, to 50% chance, to 100% chance. Well, I guess that would be too powerful. Well, not for some, because X23 has 100%, but yeah, that's a huge mistake. I don't know what that was, but I haven't worked on Loki in a long time. He does everything he needs to do as a kit-based character where he's at. I probably didn't even need to max his mirror image. I used to use him quite a bit, though, and I think I used him a lot in my first run of DD2. And I like the character in the comics, not so much in the movies. Minerva is always good, but let's see, another regret. I think I actually used promo credits to get Star-Lord up to 5 red stars, and this was kind of on the heels of DD2 when I ran him constantly in there with him and Minerva together. I didn't have Thanos really leveled up at the time, not enough for there. So I was using him as the energy battery, and I used him constantly through my first 2 runs of DD2. I thought he was better than he was, and he just isn't, he's just too squishy. I never use him for anything anymore. No, other than lower Greek stuff or whatever, but yeah, I regret it. I think he's getting some new life right now because of the Infinity Watch, but as soon as Adam Warlock comes out, he's goner. So yeah, that was kind of a regret. What else? Vision's another guy I brought up way too high. He was also my first run of DD2. I can't remember he was on. Yeah, he's usually on a main squad. I had a main squad, and then eventually I had 2 squads going. But at the time, he was a really, really, really good character. It's just that he doesn't have a home anywhere now. I will pull him in, throw him into my power armor team, which I haven't touched in years either. Just for his virtue of his defense up and as a 5th body, because I don't want to work on Iron Fist at all, or what her name is. I never have worked on her. Whatever. But you see how good he used to be. I actually maxed out his basic, which was one of the best basics of the game. I actually made a video about that a little while back, too. So, kind of thing. I haven't hit the rank up button. He's been there. I see how far above. He's been there for a long time. There's no reason to do it. So, it's kind of a mistake. But at the time he's meta, I pulled him out of Mega War very early when I opened my account. So, I used him for the first year and a half. So, bit of a regret. Same thing with a lot of supernatural characters. I know Mordo has his uses, but most of the other ones just don't. They're not that good. It's like my favorite team to play, really, honestly, because they're kind of technical in a way, and you have to do some strategizing, but just not that good. And yeah, I dumped a lot of gear into these guys. I think Mordo was on my secondary team in DD, my first run of DD2, but mostly not necessary. I usually just send them in to soak up ultimates in the first wave or whatever. Brotherhood are just solid, but I started leveling up Scientist Supreme a lot because I used her a lot in, I believe, my second run of DD2, and she made that so much easier, let me tell you. She doesn't have a use anymore, really, but maybe she'll come back. I don't know, MODOK or whatever, I don't care about that. But, I mean, it's just like, she's not a horrible character, but she'll never survive in the higher raid tiers, or definitely not in the arena and places like that. Stuff just hits way too hard now. She's really squishy. It's good when it works, but she's never going to last 2 rounds to flip everything. Essential part of AIM, don't build AIM without her, but yeah, I probably wouldn't build her up as high as I did. But she did make my second run of DD2 much, much, much smoother, I think. She was on my main team, so there's that. What else? Ant-Man, oh my lord. He was on my first DD2 run. I had built up this tech team for like my arena team and whatever. That was my main arena team for like the first year. It was like Crossbones, Ant-Man, Vision. I threw Punisher on there, and I also had like Quake, and I would swap out Wasp sometimes because they all have the tech tag, right? And look at the synergy he has with Wasp. He's been to their team forever. Now I guess I was somewhat vindicated, especially with the star levels and all that, since Jubilee's coming around, whatever. And it was like I was pre-gearing him, but it's like, man, talk about useless. Like, you don't use him for anything outside of very, very rarely in like war. I'll throw a Pimp Tech at like old Condon's defense team or something like that, you know. But yeah, big error in judgment there. I thought he had a really cool kit, and he does, and a nice character model and animations. But man, what a mistake that was. What else? Any other mistakes I want to highlight? Definitely Guardians. I use Rocket. I used a lot of tunes in my first run. I can't remember if he was on B team or main team for DD2, but haven't used him since, and definitely would not recommend leveling him up at all. His damage is C tier at best nowadays. What else? Mistakes. Yeah, there's the... I want to work on Red Skull, but man, it's getting rough to use him right now with so much Kestrel running around. That's a Heartgrave recommended guy right there, and yeah, he looks really exceptionally strong, but unfortunately, now is not his time to shine. Quake, oh my gosh. Quake. Especially bad to level her now, considering, like, Yo-Yo is now semi-farmable because of the raid, her being in the raid store. She is awful, but she used to be on my AoE arena team. I'd fluctuate, and she would be on there, but she wasn't tech, but I like the AoEs or whatever, and they used to list her as like S tier or God tier in this game, like in the first year that she was out, or the game was out, but awful character, almost always the weakest, debatable with Karnak, and I'd say she's even weaker than Karnak, to be honest with you. Member of the Inhumans, a lot of people just got her up in order to get Ebony Maw unlocked, but really, Black Bolt does all the heavy lifting in that, and definitely go for Yo-Yo if you're going to go that route. It may behoove you, though, to take her over Karnak, since Karnak is kind of hard node farmable. It takes a while to get to him, and it's a long haul to actually farm. It takes a while to farm her, so, yeah, or him, excuse me, so you can make your choice there, but yeah, bad character and should not put that much into her. What else? Groot, yeah. All the Guardians, I'm sorry I put as much into him as I did. Crossbones is another one I'm sorry about. He's one of my favorite villains in the comics. And I used to have him on the AoE team as well, and my tech teams. And his ult used to be really legit. One of the most damaging attacks in the game, but, you know, I haven't used him in years, and there's just not really a place for him right now. He needs serious work. What else? Any other bad ones? I know I'm trying not to ramble here. But don't make the same mistake I did, kids. Let's see. Got anything else? I quit working on Nebula years ago, and then and now she's good again. I actually got 6 reds on her. How about that? Anything else? Anything? Don't work on Bullseye unless you really want to run Mercs, and you don't have to run him on the Mercs team. I really was too far behind to ever work on Captain Marvel. I can't stand the character anyway, so I never really fell into that trap too much. I mean, she used to be really good, but no longer. Never really worked past this like level in my power armor. You see all that. Never even got put purple. I think I put purples on Iron Man because I don't know why. I think I was planning on making them better for helping out the alliance at the time, but I switched alliances, whatever. But yeah, don't work on your power armor. My suggestion, especially with Kestrel now, because she can help you in the final nodes of the Doom campaign, the Doom War campaign. And I did a video on that a while ago, so don't level your power armor for that if that's all you're doing for it. I don't recommend them. They're not really good anywhere. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, some mistakes over the years, and you know it's bound to happen in a game when you're collecting this many characters and players, you know, come and go, you know, or character strength, you don't never know. Usually stay in the top 100 depending on how far I get knocked back overnight, usually in the 150s, but usually stay in the top 100 to top 50 of my arena shard. It's just what I do. I'm still using Black Order. It's my highest team, and there's still a lot of teams I can beat right now, but it is getting harder. It's getting a lot harder because the Silver Surfers are getting bigger, especially, and his ultimate's been like taking half my health off, like Corvus and Proxima right off the bat. So yeah, it's getting pretty rough in arena, and then now with Kestrel in there tearing up, and now especially with Infinity Watch, their days are definitely numbered in there, but I can still usually maintain top 100. Yeah, I usually max real-time arena. I can stomach it. I don't mind the grind so much. It is what it is. But so that's basically my account right now. It's not great by any means, and some of my decisions should serve as a cautionary tale to you. But, you know, I still have fun with the game sometimes. I wanted to also talk about something else, too, the Strike Pass. And I guess this kind of will go into my philosophy of how people should maybe play this game. And, hey, you do you. I'm not advocating that you don't do one thing or the other. I do not recommend spending any money in this game. I think it's money wasted. I think this company is extremely predatory. Yeah, they prey on FOMO so hard in this game. And here's one of the great examples of it, the Strike Pass. Like, let's talk about Polaris real fast. And it's like, you can buy both Strike Passes and, you know, blitz your mind out. And you're still not going to get her if, you know, she's off or whatever. They're going to make it so you're like 25 shards short or 50 shards short. And then, bam, you'd be buying that $30 offer when it hits, or $35 offer, which is what they'll probably sell it for. That's how they get you. And this is kind of indicative of all the passes. You know, they'll give you just enough to think you're starting to get ahead, but believe me, do the math and you will see that you're going to come out behind almost every time. If you're not planning on being ultra competitive at the top levels, I say save your money and put it into a CD, put it into a coupon-bearing bond or something, you know. Just don't put it into this game, because once the servers get shut off, that's it. Your investment is no more, and it will count for nothing. But I understand some people want to pay to progress in this game, and like I said, how you spend your money is your business, but I really don't advocate spending money in this game, especially it's getting pretty old in its life cycle for a mobile game, so right now I think it's riding on the Marvel IP and the sunk cost fallacy that plagues a lot of games like this. So I say, especially if you are new to this game and you never spent, I really don't advocate for you spending in this game, because you are just going to hit a brick wall hard, and it's just going to, it's funny that you buy your way out of bottlenecks only to fall into a lot more of them. If you want to see some examples of this, go listen to Mr. Hartgrave, and he talks about this in his channel. He'll let you know. He doesn't pull any punches. And also, I wanted to let you know, too, on things like the Polaris and the X Factor and all that, if you want to see how the math is done right and what you should be investing your time in, and if you should be purchasing, whether, I suggest going over to Boylan's channel. He's the Excel chart wizard, like him and Wolverthor, and they'll kind of break it all down really well, especially Boyan, and to let you know where your time is best spent, how you should spend your cores, not just your money. And those guys barely spend anything at all, Boylan or Hartgrave, by the way. So really good takes on the newer and mid-game experience, really, too, despite them being more like in-game players. And I only consider myself a late mid-game player. I can't play with I haven't stepped foot into Doom raids, but I just get shredded in there. Haven't been in DD4 yet, so I mean, I still got a few ways to go, right? And I always pick up legendaries on their second pass. I have come to just accept that. And if you can accept that, you'll save yourself a lot of money and a lot of headache and a lot of frustration, because they will pull shady stuff to get that money out of your wallet. I'm going to reiterate it, man. This game wants your money, and that's not just from a regular business standpoint. This is like slot machine like crazy, and they will prey on FOMO, fear of missing out, don't fall into that trap if you are on the fence about spending money. If you come in wanting to spend money on this game knowingly, that's different. But if you're coming in and you see a deal that looks like a good value, like the Strike Pass, thinking you're going to get ahead if I just spend $20 a month or $40 a month if I get both Strike Passes or whatever, or buy one of the 50 shard offers or whatever, trust me on this, it's not going to do you much good. And you're going to have bottleneck upon bottleneck, and that's a whole nother video, and I didn't mean to turn this into a rant, but I just want to warn you and prepare you for what you should expect. If you're going to be a free-to-play player, expect to be 6 months behind, possibly a year behind the top end of the meta, just how it is. One good thing about being behind, and I'll close on this, is you can see what the big guys are doing and whether characters are even worth investing in. But at the same time, new characters coming out so fast, and the power leap is so high that it's not even worth lurking on it sometimes. So anyway, enough of that. That's my account at 1,000 days played, and so let me know what you think in the comments below, and hopefully you made it to the end. So until next time, my friends, this is Genome with his cautionary words against MSF. Out.